Episode 70, Mathieu Buton.
Oh, I guess I'm ready.
Yep, back for episode 70. As always, we have Gunny Mathison, Joe Schmidt, and today, as we're going to be talking about the 100X in France, we brought an authentic Frenchman, Mathieu Buton.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
Where in France are you from?
Vendée, so it's below Normandy, near the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, I was born and raised over there.
And then how close was that to the show?
About 5.5 hours drive.
Yeah.
So I just went in France on vacation for about 2 weeks, and we were flying on Sunday, and found out that the final was the Saturday. So told Angie, well, we just go watch the final. I've never been to that place, and so I thought it would be cool and neat, and it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you fly out of Paris, or did you have to drive back Saturday night and then?
No, I took a hotel. So I just took a hotel from the show, drove about an hour after the show, and then the hotel riders were at the airport.
Yeah,
And I flew back after that.
Perfect.
That's what I did.
Perfect.
You went there on vacation and you got roped into doing the commentary.
I know, yeah. I told my wife, normally I go in France and I give clinics and stuff, and I promised her no horses that time, so 2 weeks just short flip-flop, no horses, and then the last day I said I gotta get away with it.
You finished her off with a bang.
Yeah, but she enjoyed it, so that was fine.
Yeah,
That's cool.
No, that's good. No, you did a good job on the commentary. You and Blair did a good job.
Thank you. I was not part of it. I mean, that was not the plan. When I got there, Joe asked me, he said, hey, do you mind doing this? I said, well, I've never done it, but I watched you guys doing it. I watched Gunny the other day at the 100X, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to try and see what
Yeah, I
happens.
mean, if he can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boost your confidence when you see Gunny do something.
Yeah.
I keep telling Blair the whole time, I said, if I'm stuck,
freaking
just elbow me.
excellent at it. I don't know why every show doesn't call Gunny Mathison.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
No,
how long
good.
ago did you move to the States?
I think I moved in 2005, so it's going to be about 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been
And
a while.
how old are you?
I'm 42.
42. So you moved, you're 22-ish.
Yeah, 22-ish, yeah.
Did you speak any English when you came?
Franglish, just like now.
Franglish.
Franglish.
Okay, just like now.
Yeah.
Say the word 3.
3.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good for a guy from France.
You know, when I first came in, I went to work for McIntyre in North Carolina, and I struggled with Mountain Dew. Like, I couldn't say Mountain Dew. And I like that drink. We didn't have that drink in France, and those guys were drinking that. So there was Mountain Dew and Mellow Yellow. So I keep saying Mountain Dew when I go to a restaurant, and she's like, what you say? What you say? I said, the green stuff with the bubble right there. Just give me that, please. And orange juice. That was the two things that I struggled the most. And I think I'm getting better at it now after 20 years, thank God.
So,
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
So you worked for Mike McIntyre? in North
Yeah,
Carolina?
for 6 months. That was my first experience. And I got lucky first. I was supposed to come just for 3 months, as a tourist. And then, for whatever reason, the guy at the airport stamped me 6 months. I got to the hotel at night, I checked, I'm like, 6 months I can stay. So I ended up staying 6 months at Mike. It was a great experience. And I always loved watching Craig, on video, Craig's commercial. And he was one of Mike's best friends. So I just asked Mike after those 6 months, I said, do you mind help me out if I want to go back, get a visa and work for Craig? And he said, sure. He took the phone. I remember he called Craig and he hung up. He said, you got the job. You can just go home and take a visa and call Craig and come back.
where was Craig then?
He was he just moved from California to Oklahoma. He just built a new ranch in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It was maybe about a year ago at the time he's been building that ranch. Yeah, a year ago. So flew home, got my visa, and I flew to the Congress actually the first time. I met Craig and Ginger at the Congress.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, in 05, October.
It's a big step. Now Mandy and I just stopped by to look at a horse at your house the other day. You got a beautiful place.
Thank you.
Nice big indoor, sitting on a hill, breeze. Have you been there? You guys been there?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's
Very
good.
nice.
Yeah, it's been a dream come true. I'm so blessed. This country has been amazing for me. And, I feel like when you leave your country, you got to be so motivated. You got to love what you're doing and have a lot of passion. And I just came here to learn, and I end up having a privilege to stay here with the visa and stuff. But, this country's been amazing for me. So I'm just very proud of having my ranch now, try to keep working hard and do the best I can.
Yeah, I love those stories because, you're living the American dream.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, and the horse business isn't the easiest business to make that dream come true, to own a big fancy place and have your own thing. And I'm sure that, Angie has a lot to do with it,
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, that's pretty great.
Be
He's,
with her meditation.
he's damn near neighbors with Larry Mahan.
Yeah, Larry's my place. Yeah, it's the place down my road. You know, unfortunately, sadly, he passed away not too long ago. But I got to meet Larry about a year ago.
Oh, really?
And man, I mean, what a blessing. I wish I would have known him before. He was an incredible man. I just heard that he was him, and I went and introduced myself one day, and just down earth man, just so nice and kind. And I went to talk to him that day and visit. He showed me all his ranch, his horses and stuff, and talk about rodeo a little bit. But he didn't give me too much detail about what he's been doing before. Very humble.
Yeah.
And I go home and I put Larry
yeah,
man
look
in my
him up.
phone, and I look. I'm like, man, when you put your name first and your picture showed up like that, you've been doing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I just watched the video and learned about him, and he was just incredible. When something would break down at my ranch, my tractor or my manure spreader, he would let me borrow his. He would come, sit down, watch me ride the reiners. You know, he loved watching the reiners. For him, the way we have those horses broke, round, collected, all the control we have, he couldn't believe it. So he always asked me questions, how you that, how you that?
Really?
And just a great man. So I was so sad when he passed away. I got to tell him goodbye, actually, when I found out that he was sick, and they flew him back home. They brought him back home, sorry, and then they let him, you know, he just passed away at his place, you know. And I remember one day seeing a helicopter flying around, a chopper, and they landed my neighbor, and all of a sudden they get back up again, they start again and go to Larry's place. And I found out that was all those rodeo legend. Tom McCutcheon, all those guys flew in to tell him goodbye right before he passed away in a couple of days.
Yeah,
So
cool.
he was, I mean, he's a legend. So
Yeah,
I got blessed
no
to
doubt.
get to know him.
Wow.
No doubt. So
That's cool.
there's a lot of, I'm sure there's, you know, we see more and more guys from Europe moving over here. How long ago did you buy your place?
About 4 years, I would say.
About 4 years. So you were here 16 years
Yes, sir.
working for people and saving money and
Yeah.
trying to make a go of it. So who did you work for right before you bought your place? Were you on your own renting stalls somewhere? Or did
Yes, yes. So I told myself, try to be surrounded by the best people. People that have been successful, can learn the best way possible. So I worked for people for an overall of 10 years total. Between Mike and Tyler, so 6 months for Mike, about close to 6 years for Craig, 5.5 years. Then I worked for Bob Loomis. I was his head trainer for 3 years. And then Angie, my wife, was there at the time. That's why I went from Craig to Bob. And so I stayed with Bob for 3 years. Then when I left Bob, you know, when I worked for Bob, I was just training for him. I had no outside customers. And after 3 years, just felt like I wanted to try to do something different. But I had my little boy, you know, but no guarantee or no customers once I was leaving. So a little bit scary about it. But Nathan Piper was a good friend, bought a couple of horses from me. And then told me, say, hey, look, I know you want to get on your own. I know it's not easy. Why don't you come over, start a ride with me? I provide your horses to ride. I let you build your business with me. And then when you're ready, you go on your own. You know, I need your help, and I'll help you getting ready and build a clientele. So left Bob, stayed with Nathan for about a year. And after a year, that was in 2015 when I had my good little mare when we both showed the futurity. That year when we won the level 2, I think at the time. Right. Then my little mare helped me out, and then I got on my own right after that.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. We've seen that a million times where one horse is just the kind of propels you to the next level.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah, and that was 2015.
2015, yeah, that was a great experience. We raised her. I mean, just the first baby out of the Wiz mare. I showed the mom when I worked for Craig. I made the level 3 final of futurity. Bred her chromed out Mercedes, and MS Mercedes was the first baby.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that got you started. I remember that now. You sold a couple of those early ones.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And
yeah.
We're smart enough to keep it.
She helped me buying the ranch, you know, those babies, and she's making.
I showed the one that Cade bought, right?
Yep. That was the first one.
Yeah.
And there've been some other one. I've had some bad luck. I had a very nice one last year, but he got injured, unfortunately. So, but I've got a nice 3-year-old this year that I really like. I kept her, so I'm hoping she can do well. We'll see. But I really love riding her babies, so it's pretty neat for me.
Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. We just got back from the 100X, France.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Boat Ranch.
Well, just right outside of, probably 40 minutes outside of Paris. Beau Ranch, beautiful. Hotel was in Fontainebleau.
Now, is that like a training facility? Somebody own that, or is that like a public?
Maybe
fairground
Matthew knows that.
You know, the whole ranch, you mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know much detail on that place, to be honest with you. They built it just a couple of years ago, so I don't know much about it. It's sure beautiful. I mean,
They've had a couple horse shows there.
Yeah.
It's not the first horse show.
Gotcha.
they have their private trainers and they take a couple outside horses and they have a couple local show. That's the biggest event they've had over there by far. But you can tell that guy when he built this place, he put some thoughts into be able to have those major events out there, and that's one of his main goals, I will think. But I thought it was a first class show personally. I mean, you guys been doing this longer than me, you know more than me on that, but I was very impressed about the facility. I thought it was really good experience, a really cool experience.
Yeah. The biggest difference that they have over there from over here is you can do, so that was a beautiful facility, but there was, and that was a big show, but there was maybe, I would guess maybe 350 stalls.
Yeah.
Where over here you need 1,200, 1,400, 1,800 for some of the bigger shows. So, but for what they have over there, the ground, I thought the ground was good. From looking at it, and I didn't hear anybody complain about it.
No.
I talked to one of the judges today that thought the ground was a little tricky, and they had some trouble deciphering who was getting stopped and who wasn't, because it was fast and there was a little bit of dust, and and that's always hard when the dust is flying. Yeah. It's always a little bit hard to tell.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. We flew into Paris, and we went back and forth and watched. It worked out perfect because we flew into Paris, and Carly showed Wednesday, Cade showed Thursday, Carly showed Friday, Cade showed Saturday. It was about an hour and a half drive in between them, and it just couldn't have worked out better for us. But it was great. I mean, we were in sweatshirts the whole time. I mean, the weather was mid-60s, low 70s. And if I can see why the jumpers go over there, because it was great. I mean, you go over there and go to all those little towns and all the history and the castles and the streets in those towns. There's, all these little shops where you can buy food or luggage or clothes or whatever you want to buy all along this mile-long street. I mean, the history over there is so great. It just gives you, it's kind of a cool feeling, it just kind of relaxes you a little bit. And right there across from the hotel that we stayed in the last night at Bow was a castle where, the hell was that little guy's name?
Napoleon,
the little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about his story.
The little guy. He actually has a complex named after him. Right?
Yeah. There's a whole story right behind that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I watched the movie on the plane coming home.
There you go.
Yeah.
But my wife loves going over there because it's so different, as you said, and there's a lot of cool things. She told me when we got back, she said, well, maybe when we retire, we should move back over there. I said, I don't know about that, but we can go on vacation, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I would think, that would be fun. The problem for you now is you have two kids, and they're Americans.
Yeah, they're Americans, and I love my life here. So I like to go on vacation, enjoy the food, see my friend, family, and then I'm just happy to come back here.
Yeah, that was fun. And then to get back to the show, you helped doing the commentating. I think the surprise for me going over there, it's not like we went over there and, Cade showed a couple. It's not like anybody thought it was not going to be tough. Didn't know how deep it was going to be. I mean, it was deep. And Cade was a 23.5 and was 10th. And there was probably 10 horses that placed after him that without a bobble here or, somebody just cleaning something up a little bit here or there, they were good enough to jump up in there in the top 5 also.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what really surprised me more than anything is how good those horses were and the depth of animals. And
well, I mean, the horse that has won everything over there.
Yeah.
It's that Manuel
Cortese. Yeah.
Cortese.
I think he scored 4 times over 230 on that horse.
And he showed a horse named July Joe Snap, and it's won everything. Cade knew that he was interested in watching that guy show that horse before he went over there.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, I'm curious as to how that guy's going to be. And he was just second in the European futurity on his other horse. I don't know where he ended up in the finals. Maybe a 227.
Yeah, probably third or fourth or somewhere.
Yeah, just a measly little 227.
Yeah.
Did you judge him when you went to Europe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not July Joe Snap.
The other one, the
I
Frozen.
judged the other one. Yeah,
That's another great one right there.
Yeah.
Another one.
I marked him a 75 and a half, I think, or 75. And then somebody marked a 230 and was second. And it's the second time he's marked a 230 and been second to
Yeah.
July Joe Snap.
Yeah, that's Arnaud and on the other French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great.
He
I
was
tried to
good.
bring that horse home, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't sell it.
That Palomino horse. That's a nice horse. And Team down.
That is a
I
nice
think Gennaro
horse.
had him as a 3, or if I'm correct. And then once Gennaro left, I think Arnaud took over.
wow.
But yeah, it looked great. And he marked 230 and he missed a little bit his first stop.
Missed his first
and he
stop.
had a
didn't
turn
he?
penalty.
Yeah, had a turn.
I don't know how they judge that turn. I don't know if it's still what they do on the
Judging's the same in Europe as it is here. Like, that's still a turn penalty.
No, but I wonder why they did a +1 penalty half, or I didn't pay attention if
I
they
don't know.
plus
I
half.
bet we could look it up.
But that was huge. I mean,
Yeah, it was good for sure. It was good, and that's I guess that was probably the part that surprised me the most. It was not that we knew there was going to be, 3 or 4 guys that were gonna, could be a problem, but there was 10 or 15 guys that could be a problem.
yeah.
But
Whenever
whenever I judged over there, and I don't know if it stood out to you, whenever I judged the European futurity, them guys put their hand down and kicked the whole time. There was no throwing caution like at it. Like they ran fast. It was put up or blow up.
They
And
show.
They showed hard and fast.
Yeah, fast.
They attacked
Hand
it.
up
They
there
went
and it's
after it.
going.
They're pulling it off or crashing and burning.
But those horses were handling it.
They broke.
I mean, they were handling it. I mean,
That's what I appreciated the most
Yeah.
whenever I watched, is watching them go after it and pulling it off.
Yeah,
like it was
not overshowing.
not
just
overshowing,
showing
but
full
they
on.
weren't safe either. They weren't trying for halves. They were trying to mark 230s. They weren't trying to mark 220s.
Yeah.
yeah. And we didn't watch the non-pro or anything like that. We just drove over there when Cade was showing, and we didn't watch any of the schooling at night. But it was the horse show itself was good. Facility was great.
Did the girl that win everything over there in the non-pro win the non-pro?
I don't know.
I think it was like it's marked to 20. I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think she's been successful before. Yeah.
That horse has won everything.
Everything,
That girl and that horse have won everything. I can't remember how they're bred, but
That's not Bernard's daughter. Bernard's daughter was second, I think. Right?
yeah.
She just
No, it was a different girl.
yeah, she just beat Bernard's daughter right at the end, I think.
Yeah, I got, I don't know, 10 or 12
You come here
pro
for
the
facts.
shows.
You did?
10 or 12 of them.
Nice.
Yep. I had to play probably 4 times. I had to play my least favorite game.
What's that?
Somebody walk up to me and say, "You remember me?" My least favorite game. Yeah. 20 years ago, they came to dinner with somebody that I did know, and I'm not hating on anybody. You guys that asked, you know who you are. I'm not hating the player. I'm hating the game.
Basically, what he's saying is he has no idea who you are.
Yeah.
He forgot a long
But
time
you
ago.
got the face blindness thing,
Yeah.
like Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Now I heard about that on a podcast
Yeah.
the other day. Like that's a thing.
You looked it up. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the real deal. I mean,
I cannot remember people or horses or.
Well, I went to
Honestly.
North Carolina to judge the NARS Derby and Futurity out there, and I got 13 or 14 Grota shows.
oh, you did.
Yeah, I might have got 15. I don't know.
Now that I think about it, might have been 16.
But that's fun. I mean, I love it. That's fun because that's why we do it. I mean, obviously we are.
Hey, was there a Futurity at the Bow Ranch deal too? Like a 3-year-old deal too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Because where I was, there was a 3-year-old deal, and there was Denver the same week. And
Yeah, it's starting now, but
Yeah, but-
it's getting going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Waco.
just thinking about it, there was a couple people that showed their 3-year-olds in the open, and then turned around and the non-pro showed them the next day. Like them 3-year-olds had 2 go-rounds on them, and then the people in Denver put 2 go-rounds on their 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Guess what?
is that a bad idea?
I don't know because I got an invitational horse that might do that at Tulsa.
What do you mean he might do that?
He might do the open and the non-pro.
So it's going to tell you that's a good idea, I guess.
It was a little. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but
I don't think he's going to let his non-pro practice either. So
And that's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
is a good
It's a
idea.
good idea if you go first, right? If you show first in open, then the non-pro
Yeah.
takes it up. That's a better idea.
Listen, Matthew, this show has a reputation to uphold, and everybody that's been on it this year has won something big. And Mandy needs to step it up. So if it's the invitational, it's the invitational, okay?
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Now you're
next. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
you
need
go,
to win
man.
something to get invited. Here, I'm here because I witnessed something good.
Right.
But
Dude,
I'd like to be invited because I did good, you know.
the
No.
show
You're
fixes
win.
in, dude. It's going to happen.
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
No, we had
Dwayne?
Dwayne on and he won the qualifier. We had Brian on and he won
Dirty.
something.
Yeah.
100X.
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 Okay, so
Yeah, he'd have never won anything on that mare if he
Kate
wasn't
was
on
on
the show.
before the Derby, won the Derby.
there you go. So
Yeah,
knock on wood.
yeah.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, she didn't.
that's why I asked to be on the last show. So now
Yeah.
I'm on when I go to the next show.
Yep. So yeah, no, the 3-year-olds are
Showing twice in 1 week, huh?
yeah.
In
So
July.
Who won Denver? Was it Kerry Klingenberg?
Kerry
Won, like, all the
Klingenberg.
divisions or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, she-
And Ruben won the go
What was that?
around.
How was that one, Brad? May remember.
Was it Mr. Electric Spark?
Had to be if he's bringing
I don't know.
If
I
he's-
don't know what it was.
if
That's
he's bringing it up,
wrong.
Was
it
it
had
Gunner
to be a
Special
good
Night?
attraction.
Yes, I didn't know that.
It was a Gunner special
I
night.
didn't know
That's
that.
what I thought. I was
What'd
about
you
to
say?
say. I
What'd you
thought
say?
it was
What?
going
It
to
was
special
a
night.
Half-ice? It's a
It was a Gunner
thought it
special
was a Gunner
night.
special
Very
night,
cool.
yeah.
Gunner special night.
Really?
There you go.
Oh,
Once again.
Yeah,
Once
they're
again.
they're lighting it up this year.
That we raised and they bought from us.
Oh,
There you go.
wow. Even better.
So
Look
come
at
buy a
that.
horse at Tom McCutcheon. There you go.
Nice.
Ah, boy. Hey, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it.
We were
Very
talking
cool.
about breeding the outside studs a few shows ago, and I listed every freaking stud that they had on their stallion rosters, and really nobody else's. Maybe I snuck one in, and Cade looked at me like, "Dude, you should mention something else." So this isn't a sales pitch, but
Yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah, just leave it at that.
You're good. That's why we pay you like we do.
yeah.
Oh.
Dude, the salary here,
It's big.
Yeah.
you fly to France once a month if you want
There
to.
you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
As long as you have a good credit
It's
card.
like the SAG AFTA, you know, from being on Yellowstone. We all get a check about every, I don't know, quarter. $8, $12.
royalty check.
Oh yeah. I kept the first one because like $8, I thought it was pretty cool. And then you just can't keep a whole drawer full of $8
$8
checks.
checks. No.
Dude, I actually get royalty checks from the first
Joe?
no. What's the show they did about the Rainers? The Last Cowboy.
Last Cowboy.
Yeah, but they make them all out to Cade's friends, so I can't deposit it. I mean, it's really frustrating. You have to try to get a hold of somebody.
Yeah. And you got to stay Cade's friend because if you're not, then the check's no good.
Check's no
Exactly.
good.
That's right.
Check. Yep.
So did you frame the first $8 check?
No, it's somewhere. I don't know
Oh.
where. I always,
Seriously, $8.
yeah.
Yeah, little royalties.
You guys all know Tom. He didn't save that check.
Yeah.
Sucker is in the bank.
Right away.
Using that $8.
There you go. Smart man.
$8, $8, boys.
$8, absolutely.
This guy gets mad if I see a penny on the ground and don't pick it up.
What? Really? You pick up a penny?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because
Really?
you have to pick up a penny because who are
So you
you
have-
if you walk by money? You can't. It's bad karma. It's money. I don't care if it's
Really?
a penny, but if you act like you're too good for a penny, then maybe you're too good for 100 or 1,000 or 10,000.
No, I just leave it for the next guy.
No, I pick them all up. Money's money.
Heads up.
Well, just
pick up a
Money's
penny.
money.
Just pick it up, tails up, and drop it. Put it heads up, and then pick it up.
No, she is. No,
You got some bad luck and good luck to even out, and you made a penny.
No, Mandy is looking at it as a superstition, and I'm looking at it as I don't want to piss off money.
I
know,
think you're
money
looking
right
at
there.
it.
You're thinking-
I think you're looking at it as a superstition too, just the
A little
opposite.
bit.
one.
But you think look at it as like being disrespectful
To money.
To money.
Yes.
If you leave it on the ground.
100%.
No kidding.
I will not leave. I was loping circles. I showed a horse once and saw it when I was circling.
So you were looking. You
Yeah.
saw a penny.
No, I saw a quarter.
Oh,
'Cause
now
I-
a quarter's different.
yeah, I
I'll
saw
pick up
quarter.
a quarter, but a dime.
But
I
when-
think a penny, dime, or nickel, I'm kind of.
When I was done, I got off and picked it up.
Yeah, I could see a
I'm gonna
quarter.
do a test next time. He's riding with me in the Coliseum. I just drop a penny and
Change.
everybody start a video and let's see how quick he gets.
I am actually 100% the same mentality as Tom. I won't walk by it. I'll always pick it up because karma
Yeah.
tells me to.
No kidding.
Well, I guess we're not doing good, Joe. Huh?
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
Well-
no, I didn't think it was a karma thing. I just kind of was like, oh, there's a penny or a dime.
It's 100.
That's not
Next,
enough.
listen.
Yeah, it's not enough for me.
Yeah,
No,
listen,
no, I
if
just
you're
can't.
too, if
Next
you're
guy.
too good to pick up that penny,
Yes.
that's
But see,
bad
I don't
karma.
see it as being like too
100%.
good. I'm just going, no, you know what? Next guy, maybe use it a little bit more.
Oh, bullshit.
I swear to God.
Yeah, I'm calling
Yeah.
bullshit on you, Joe.
Says
No,
the guy
serious.
that brings leftovers home from everybody else's
Yeah,
plate.
says the guy that doesn't have satellite
that's true.
TV.
That's
Says
He's got
the guy
antenna
that
TV.
is so tight with his money. He actually, you can eat those green beans.
Yeah.
I'll take them home. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take them home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
eat that
true.
half-eaten biscuit with
Yeah.
your slobber on it. I'll take it home.
yeah. Gets a to-go box and gets food off of everybody's plate at the
It's
restaurant.
okay if you dropped it on the floor. I'll take it.
I'll take it's good. 5-second rule.
The
We're good.
busser
Yeah.
brings the bucket by with everybody's own. Yeah, there's still a burger in there. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what?
No.
At Tulsa one year,
That's not.
and not because he needed to, just because he knows I'm a germaphobe a little bit. So just to freak me out, Deary pulled a sandwich out of the garbage
Oh,
and took a bite.
yeah.
Who did
No.
that?
Casey Deary
Yeah. I
He'll do
won't do that.
took it right out of the garbage and took a
Joe-
bite
Joe-
just because it's
Oh.
freaking me out a
I
little
won't
bit.
do that.
Did you do that right before it gets very, very good? So was it just the beginning?
Yeah, that's right.
You know what?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Hey,
I will
it's
do
karma.
Yeah,
He's not
see?
too good for that sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's
that-
it. Like it's the same
Okay.
concept. So I pick up the pennies because I want to get, more and more money.
Deary
And
eats
Gary
Deary
eats
eats
the
out of the
sandwich.
trash
He's
can.
getting fatter and fatter. So
Huh.
Oh, there we go. We had to go there. There ain't,
got
a,
the
lot-
fat shame.
there ain't an episode
can't-
I can't get by without getting fat shamed.
no, it
In
wasn't
some
you.
No, he was fat shaming.
Indirect
Deary.
way.
No, that's Deary. It wasn't
Fat
you at all.
shaming him, fat shaming me.
I'm gonna look at trash.
You fat
can and
shame
look
one, you
different.
fat shame all.
I mean,
Yeah, no, that was bad. I couldn't believe he did
No,
that.
that's pretty bad. Eating out of the trash can. No, you can't
yeah,
do that.
you can't do it.
No.
And he didn't do it because he was hungry. He just did it to freak me out.
Yeah.
And I just had to turn and walk away.
Yeah.
I will not. He brought me, he got these gourmet cupcakes at the Derby one year. Beautiful. They were beautiful. They looked like they would be amazing. And one of his kids brought me one because I said how good they were. And he brought me one. It was in the, in the little cupcake holder. They have the little paper around the end,
Right.
bottom, and it was on a napkin.
even that.
You wouldn't do
you
it.
couldn't, huh?
You can't do anything. If Deary's involved, don't eat
Don't
it.
trust
Yeah.
him.
Because he'll lick it or he'll do something stupid.
Well, didn't he take like Jason Van Lanningham's phone into the bathroom or his own phone into the
Oh,
bathroom
no,
and then
no.
make Jason use it or something?
I don't know about that, but I got better. We're at the WEG, and I can't. It had to be Tryon. Had to be Tryon because that's the one he went to with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there eating, and there's breadsticks and whatnot. And Jordan picks up a breadstick. Casey hands him a breadstick, actually. And Jordan grabs it and eats it, and he goes, it's still a little stale. Casey took his teeth out and sucked on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And he freaking near died. He was so proud of
I
himself.
don't look at Casey the
Dude,
same way anymore.
stop.
This show.
Hey, guys, come on. Change the subject, you guys.
God, who sucks on breadsticks?
Yeah.
Guys,
With no
stop it.
teeth.
I'm fucking gonna get sick.
He
Stop
takes
it.
his teeth out.
Stop it. I don't care. It called for an F word. Y'all need to shut the hell up about this. Bad.
Sucking
It's a
on-
bad TV, you guys.
sucking on breadsticks with no teeth.
Oh yeah, you're just making everybody that listens
God.
to the show in their car turn their radio off right now. We just lost
Oh,
viewers.
Yeah.
This show is officially
that's
over.
terrible.
We got a whole truth about Casey Deary.
Oh, yeah.
That's next level.
Yeah, no, it is next
God.
level. And all those stories are true. I mean, I've been there. I was there. I saw them all. Those are just the ones I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I imagine there's quite a few more.
Oh. So.
I remember when Matthew used to be our neighbor. One time he parked his truck in our field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it when I was pulling in. It looks dry enough for me to get in. Right. I just started thinking earlier. What was the reason why I drove my truck here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just
Trespassing.
Yeah, something with my fence here. And the worst part is that truck just got washed the day before by my wife. It was clean. And I asked Mandy, I said, you mind if I drive around, go on your field, like, whatever it was at the time, fixing the fence? Oh, sure, go ahead. Let's drive in. It's going good. It's going good. I mean,
Stuck.
Pretty stuck. I mean, pretty good. And on a moment in time, I'm like, oh, my wife is going to kill me. And she did.
Gunny knows all about that.
About his wife trying to kill him?
No.
Getting a truck stuck.
But get stuck.
You got stuck
yeah.
too?
Yeah, Tom's new place. I worked for him before he built it. Like, I went over there and I cleared the fence line. So I was supposed to pull all the trees up. Then we go over there. I remember it like it was yesterday. We go over there. This will take you about a day. Yeah, sure. I have no idea how long it's going to take me. Well, 4 days later, I'm 3/4 of the way done. And I'm driving to the front gate and back where I started the next morning. And I'm driving the skid steer right to where I started the next morning. And I hit an old burn pile that they burnt all the trees that they cleaned up the property on. I hit the burn pile. Well, they bury it all. They burn it and then they bury it. Well, it was soft. So that skid steer, I mean,
Something?
right to the cap.
Well, I think I got you beat. I think I flipped.
No.
He's not done.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, really?
I went to the neighbors and got their $150,000 tractor and buried it in the mud too, trying to pull out the skid steer. Oh yeah. I called Tom. I said, I got a problem here. What? Well, I kind of got the skid steer stuck and the tractor to pull it out with. Yeah, it's stuck too. Yeah, so
There you go.
we needed another tractor to get the tractor out and this Hummer. And once we got those,
Yeah, I
things
hooked
out,
my Hummer up because that was a bad idea. But you
got
know,
that
it's
stuck
four-wheel
too?
drive. I thought we were.
No,
yeah,
it just
Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
it just laughed at it. Yeah,
it wasn't enough.
I flipped one over one day, skid steer. When I did.
did?
Yeah, I did. See, that's what I'm saying. I did it, yeah.
yeah, but I did
Those-
that to his skid steer for fun on
I can tell you
purpose.
the quick
I didn't
story.
I didn't do it on accident. Flipping a skid steer's fun.
Yeah, the guy I used to work for in Paris, Gregor Legrand, you know, he had those little Bobcat, the tiny one, okay? Like very, not really wide.
Yeah.
And then we had an outside track and we were doing the track, so there was a bunch of rocks underneath the base. So we tried to scrape them up with the bucket. And he was in the office. He was selling some tack at the time. We had some saddles and bridles he would sell. And so he was with the customers in there. And I wanted to be good and help out. I said, I'm going to go in the machine and help. I get in the machine and start to scrape. And I don't know, I hit a rock. It was a bit tired. Boom, flip it. And I'm inside. I'm like, oh, shit. I get off that thing. And I'm looking at the window. And he's with the customers over there. I'm like, oh, he's going to freaking kill me. I'm like, what am I going to do? And that was my first 6 months over there. And I was like, Matthew, what the? I mean... And nobody was looking, and I was so stupid. I'm like, it's like those movies, you get superpower. I'm just trying to sort of pick the freaking up. And I'm like, no way. And he sees me try to pick that thing up through the window, and he started to laugh his ass when he see that. He said, he just couldn't be mad at you anymore, because when I see you trying to pick that thing up, he said, oh, I could be just laugh, you know. So I flipped one over, yes. And I
awesome.
understand the feeling. When I worked for Craig, I was not allowed to use any equipment. Craig would tell me, Matthew, you're making me money when you ride a horse. You're costing me money when you're driving my equipment.
Shit, I only made him money when I drove equipment.
So I would never be allowed. One time, same thing, we're fixing the stalls. And I'm in a skid steer. And I'm not supposed to be in a skid steer, but Craig is not there. And then I have the bucket full of gravel right above the stall front to try to dump the gravel in to fix under the mats. And those boys, when they pull the mats out, they put it behind the skid steer. So what happened when I back up, it got high on the back, and that thing went poof, like that, and I fell on the front of the stall, right above, bucket stuck, like that, stuck on the stall. And I'm like this inside, I'm like, oh shit. And I see Craig's in my face, I'm like, he's gonna kill me. And everybody sees that, what do? They take their phone out, take a
Yeah, of
picture,
course.
and send it to Craig.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
So, yeah. I know the feeling.
Yeah, I think we've all gotten tractors stuck in our time. You know.
Yep, no doubt. So where's everybody going now? Who's going to Waco?
Waco 100X, 10 horses.
Yep. You going to Waco?
No, I'm not. I'm going to stay home since I was gone, and I'm just going to show an invitational. And I just got some 4 years old, and being only level 4 this year, I feel like I could be smart when I go show mine. So I'm going to go to Tulsa. There's the North over there, and then maybe Vegas for my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
thinking.
You going to Waco, Joe?
No, you're not going either, right?
Tom's not going either.
No, but we have how many going?
32.
We have 32 horses going.
There you go.
I'm just gonna stay home around my 3-year-olds. I'm a little bit the same. And Waco's hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
I'm showing 2 Derby horses, 2 3-year-olds. I'm just going to show my 3-year-olds one time, though. Like, we're not showing them twice.
Are you gonna show them at Tulsa?
Those set? No. I have 3 other ones for Tulsa.
Yeah.
That's not like me to have 5 3-year-olds. Normally, I just
That's
have
good,
one.
though.
Who's riding them?
I've been riding them. What do you mean? Who's riding them?
Well, sensitive, Todd. I mean, Gunny.
God.
You
Still a little
ever
sensitive.
been over March? Well, hell no.
Here, what are you talking about?
You showing your bay horse over there in Waco?
What do you mean?
No.
In Tulsa.
Tulsa, that one.
Probably our help that he stole from us is riding him for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stole her.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The old stealing help.
You know what? I'm gonna do it again. Debbie.
Yeah. Hey, Tabby, what you doing?
Debbie, how are you?
Fight, Gunny.
Debbie, how does a 401k sound? How does working from, I don't know, 8 to noon?
A little closer to home.
A little closer
Drive. She could ride her bike.
Yeah.
We have
Bike
fans
your
in the arena.
She could ride her bike.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys know the show's about to be over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to Waco. Just got through judging the NARS Derby in North Carolina. It was great. Brian Bell won everything. Indy Roper won everything else. Best horse I saw was shown by Jillian Brown. She showed a Spook Scout Whiz mare that she had penalties because it's not a green 3-year-old, but it's a 3-year-old in July.
Right.
And it turned a 1 to the left and stopped at least a 1 in each lead.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, it was incredible.
Is she a non-pro, you said? Who is
She's
she?
a non-pro. Yeah.
Who's she ride with?
Oh,
I think
Jinx.
she-
What did the
Yeah, it was
organization
nice.
say?
Jake showed me a coat.
That was
I think
nice.
she rode that horse with Chenzo.
Oh, really?
I think Sam Smith had it for a little while, and Chenzo was helping her out there. And
Oh, cool.
dude,
They go back and forth, little Chenzo and Sam, huh?
this horse was a big, beautiful buckskin mare, and it was every bit of all of it. But
Let's try and buy it.
no, I didn't try to buy it. I judged it and laughed at myself, going, "You could never afford that thing. Are you kidding me?"
How was that show?
It was hot and sweaty, but it was good. There was 100 non-pro Derby horses. There was 94 open Derby horses. There was 30 in each futurity. 225 won the open Derby, Brian Bell. And the kid that worked for Josiane,
Philippe
Philip,
Lafortune, yeah.
yeah,
Kid
he
from
was
Quebec.
second. He
That's a
marked two-
nice horse, huh?
Oh,
Mhm.
man.
That's
We
a
marked
nice
him at 23, and but both Brian and him probably could have marked a little higher. They were really good. And then Brian Bell won the futurity on a white horse again. It was a
There you go.
stud.
That's his collar now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude, it
He's
was
gonna get all
unbelievable.
the white
He,
ones.
he showed a white one, and his help showed 2 white ones. It's like
you
everybody
go.
in the world saw him
Got
show a
white
white one.
Yeah.
Now,
There you go.
they have all white ones. And Indy Roper showed the nicest 3-year-old there. She won the non-pro futurity. Brian marked a 19 to win the open futurity. Indy marked 21, just
Wow.
cruising to
Really?
win the non-pro futurity.
That
She
girl can
just
ride.
She
Yeah,
is
she
cruising.
She's really
Very
good.
I think she does a lot of her own stuff
Yeah.
too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She won the non-pro derby too. She was on cruise control, man.
Oh, she won the Derby also.
She won the non-pro derby and the non-pro fraternity.
She could be a trainer if she wanted to. She can ride.
Yeah.
She can really
She
do a good
gets
job.
along.
So you started judge more, do you? I've been
I've just judged 2 horse shows
Okay.
this year, but I
but
needed.
before I haven't seen you judge like that.
Yeah, but I needed 2 like monitor events to get my AAA judges card. So hopefully they'll give it to me this year. Maybe they won't, but if they won't, then send a nasty letter to somebody.
I'm gonna try to get my judge's card. I mean, I did
Or
the
I'll send a
seminar.
nice
I loved
letter.
it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I should have done this a long time ago, but I want to try to get my card. That's
Every
that was awesome.
professional.
Yeah,
should
I
judge.
agree.
Yeah.
You know how many phone calls I got after that horse show saying, from horse trainers saying, man, it was nice to have 5 people in the chair that all have ridden horses, ride horses, have non-pros, do something with horses.
Yep.
Those guys respect our opinion.
Yep,
It was
absolutely.
fantastic. Even my opinion. I mean, I know that seems crazy, but They did. It was great. It was hot and sweaty there, though.
Yeah. North Carolina, you said?
North Carolina, pretty close to about an hour away from the beach.
Worse humidity than here, huh? Way
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like it's nice here when you come back.
It was nice here. Yeah, it was hot, but at least it wasn't. It was dry. It was nice.
They had a nice big arena.
Yeah, it looks big. It looks
pen.
big. Huge.
Yeah, big pen. Ground was good. Preparing must have been easy because everybody was prepared. Yeah, the only thing that really surprised me from that deal was people showing open futurity horses, and then you turn around the next day and see them showed in the non-pro again.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't see that very often. I mean, it takes a space. I mean,
I
if you
don't
have
know.
a good-minded one.
you know what? I think that must be their only futurity over there because I don't know how therapeutic really that could be.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the only reason that we may do it, and I mean, we haven't done it yet, but the only reason we may do it is if I feel like it's a horse that is broke enough to where it can slick through there without,
Stressing it.
without having to, jab it for a lead change or, fight it out of a rollback, or if we feel like you can get it around there pretty slick.
Yeah, without having to fake it.
Yeah, we'll probably do it because, I mean, it was set up better before they changed the skull. It was set up better for that before.
So how it's set up now? How it is this year?
The non-pro is, I think there's one day in between the non-pro and the open, and how the original schedule was that I saw, a few months ago, the non-pro invitational was like a full week before the open.
Yeah.
So that would have been easy. I mean, then it's easy.
Make it easier for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, then it's easy. But I agree with you, Gunny. I mean, I don't know this early. Like, it's one thing maybe to do it at the futurity, or I've seen it done at the futurity, and Mandy and I have talked about it before a lot. It'd be fun to do it at the futurity if you had the right kind of horse, just because it hasn't been done very often. Mm-hmm. But go try to find the right kind of horse. I mean, it takes a special individual to be able to. I mean, because I don't think if you're going to do that, you got to be able to get them ready pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that it made me do is it made me question where horses are at today. Started thinking, well, shoot, am I wrong for waiting? Are horses so good now and so much better mentally that you should be showing them in July of their 3-year-old year twice? I mean, that's the only thing. Or are we about to learn? Or is there a bunch of people about to learn the same lesson they learned 25 years ago that you probably shouldn't?
We've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
We've seen the guys in our industry. There's a group of guys that do really well at the early futurities.
Yep.
And then there's a different group of guys that tend to do really well at the big futurity. There's a lot of guys that can mark the big scores, at some of these little futurities around. They can go mark the 22, 23, 24 by the time they get to the big futurity. Whether it's pressure, I don't know why it's not working, but it's a lot to put on one. And
and then I mean, I guess that would lead into my next question, because I saw some people show some horses, some 3-year-olds, irresponsibly at both horse shows.
Yeah.
How do you prepare? How are you going to prepare your 3-year-old? Are you going to go cruise it around and get it ready for Oklahoma City, or are you going to go try to win the Invitational no matter what the cost?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have their mind that. I think for the futurity, those guys that do so good over there, they just try to have their horses peak at their best at the futurity and try to build them up to that. Yeah. But I guess some other people just want to go show right away. But like you said, I feel like some of those horses that show so hard, so early, how many of them you see last on the long run after that? Because I feel like you're going to pay the price for it, especially they're not completely ready. And that's one thing, if you prepare them every day like this, you run the wheels off of them every day, well, maybe it's another day at the office for them when they walk in the pen. But how long can you do that, though? Yeah. I mean, Miley the mare, my experience when I had her, I show her hard early. I mean, she was the only one I had. Looking back, I have more experience now. I think I'm smarter and I learn, I get more experience. Maybe I should have taken more of my time, but she was the only horse I had. I just had to get on my own, get out there. I feel like she could do it. So,
well, and And let's not forget, you own that one.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the guys got the pressure from their owners.
Yeah.
I mean, their owners don't want them to see them go lope around market 218 and 216 and say, I really think it's going to be ready for the futurity. I mean,
It's
the owners show up and, I mean,
They want to see you show.
yeah.
And all they got to do, if you don't do good, they just take the horse, drive 5 minutes down the road. They have another very good trainer,
Yeah.
you know. So to me, the competition is so high that you have to do a good job, you know, all year long to do the best you can, being honest with your client, and hopefully things will work out. But yeah, you have to.
I just remember the one horse that I showed 4 or 5 times before the futurity. It cost me in the second go round of the futurity, and I've never forgot it. I'm going to show mine as much as I can and as little as I can. I just want to know as much as I can to know that they're okay, and then I want to leave them alone, get them ready for the futurity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the only thing that I think that we see a lot more of today is people they'll go show them, but then they'll go to the Southwest Futurity here, and they'll school the shit out of them. You know, they'll get 2 or 3 paid warm-ups. They'll show them in a novice horse class.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot more schooling than we ever saw before.
I always wonder how would be the futurity if one year those horses we show at the futurity, just like the cutting, we're not allowed to show them in pre-futurities, and everybody goes over there with 3 futurity horses that hasn't been showed. I'd just be curious to see what would be the result. I'm just curious. Would the horses be better?
Yes.
Would they be?
No, I 100% believe they'd be better.
I will think so. You know, I think that the reason why we show spray futurity so many times also is some of you guys have so many different horses to pick from. If you ride, I don't know, 6, 7, 3-0, you want to show them to figure out, because sometimes you know more than anybody. You ride them at home, they feel great, and you go show like, oh shit.
I also remember hearing somebody talk about in regards to like the futurity. What if we showed them in the go rounds and showed through the futurity, and then gave them horses a month off, and then showed the finals somewhere else or same place, just come back for those finals? I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like when you look at the first go, you know, to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I always felt those horses look the best first go, second go, and then some of them still look really good in the final, but a lot of horses look tired, I will think, you know, such a long,
But that's the game.
That's the game.
Right.
That's the game.
true.
Like I'd for sure. Okay, a couple of things for sure. One, that's
Never gonna
happen. Never gonna
understand
work.
that.
I mean, people want to go to the futurity to go and see the futurity champion. 2, I think showing your horses, depending on how you prepare them, we've all said and we all know that nothing gets horse trained like going to a horse show. So I feel like we probably, if we do it responsibly, get them ready right, show them right. I feel if you go to a couple futurities before the futurity, your horses will be more ready when you go to the futurity. You know them better. They're going to be better broke because you've been in the, you know, to me, the best motivation to train a horse is embarrassment. You know, you don't want to go look like an asshole. So that's what gets you up every morning at,
I know that feeling.
yeah, I mean, that's when the alarm goes off at 4:00 in the morning. That's what gets you out of bed. Is You don't want to look like an asshole.
Look like a fool.
Yeah, and so I think having the shows helps you progress through that if you don't overdo them. And
Well, or switch your, you're trying to get them right, but then you're like, well, if I win, I could win 30 grand.
yeah,
You switch your plan up. You're trying to get your horse broke right, but then you switch and go,
Hey.
oh, I could be a champion.
The first year of the Invitational, I definitely got that one ready different because there was that much money at stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to push them a little bit more because you know those guys.
It bothered me. It messed with my head.
Yeah.
I think that's the hard part is you're going, I just got to prepare this thing right. And then, maybe I could win.
I totally
you overdo it.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
you
Then
overdo
it doesn't
it.
work the way you want. No.
Well, and then like you said, then you stab them in the lead change or
Yeah.
you screw up the rollback, and then the next time you show them, they got you.
yep.
That's one difference that I felt like talk about the show at the Borange in Europe and the show here. If you watch over there what it takes to be in the final, the bubble versus here, that to me there's a big difference right there. I feel like in the final, a lot of those guys right there could compete here and be very successful, but to be in the final,
217 to make the final.
I mean, 17 at the Derby would not even make the level 3.
It
Yeah,
wouldn't
right.
beat the
It
top
would-
half of the
I mean,
entries.
I was a 19, 9.5, 21.5. So, like I said, I was only level 4. I didn't make it to the final. I missed it. And I thought my horses were pretty good. I had one little bubble on each one that cost me a little something. But I went home. I just didn't make the final. And over there, 17 or 17.5.
Yeah.
So I felt like you can go through the go-round, show clean, don't overshow your horse, and save your horse for the final, where I feel like here, you go show in the go-round right away, and it's almost a final. Like you go out there.
It's better than a final.
It's
right? Better than a final.
So that makes it tough, I feel like.
You know, we were talking to
forgot again, huh?
yeah, well, you know,
Face blindness.
yeah.
Get you. That'll get
No,
you.
we were there's no talking about
Chekowitz. What's his first name?
Lucas.
Lucas Chekowitz.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that's what he said, because he came over here and showed a couple horses.
Yep.
All right.
He said it's hard. It's so hard here because there's 50 horses that don't make a mistake.
Yep.
They just go in there and they are so good.
Yep.
And horse after horse after horse after horse, and they're so good. And when you're getting ready over there to show in the go around, be clean. Don't have to overdo them.
Yep.
Let's, there's not the pressure when you have to mark a 17 versus when you have to mark a 22 or a 23.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, when was the last time that you saved a horse in a go round for a final?
You cannot.
No.
I know now.
How
When
long
was the
ago was
last
that
time you
time you did
consciously
that?
did it? When was the last time you think Tim did it? When he saved a horse in a go round, like cruised him in a go around, saved him for the final.
Yeah, I would think in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was gonna say 90s.
Yeah, I mean there was a time when those guys, there was 4 or 5 of those guys that would just, if they stayed on pattern, they were making the finals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Just get through it, but now it's obviously
Now you can't even you think about it for a second, you're
No,
done.
you're out. You're out.
and
You mark a 226 in the first go of the futurity, and you think about saving your horse for the finals. In the second go, you're liable to mark a 210.
yeah.
Mhm.
We saw it last year.
Yeah.
There's a I'm not going to name names, but we know there's a couple of guys in our industry that can kind of do that. They can go out there and get turned decent, and then there's a couple
Not
guys that
get
can
stopped
save 'em.
and still mark 225.
No, I'm not saying
shit.
that.
Now I'm getting specific.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying not go as hard or whatever. You know, there's a few guys that are in that bubble, and always has been. I mean, that's no different than it's ever
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
And they earned the bubble. I'm not saying
They're in
that.
that spot.
Yeah, they didn't win a lottery. I mean, they worked their way into that spot. But there's a few guys like that. But to me, that's the futurity. That's the beauty of the futurity, is your management. How can you get through the go-rounds? And I love it how it's set up right now with the semifinals on Wednesday.
Yep.
If you show on Thursday, you give them, you've got 3-4 days. They don't have to do much with them. Show them again on, you can manage, if you trust your horses and they're ready, you can manage them a lot better now than you used to be able to. And I think that's the key, is managing your 3-year-olds through that whole process to have something for the finals.
Yeah, like the futurity, it's not a race, it's like a marathon, right?
Yeah.
You just build yourself up all the way to the end and be smart, you know. That's
Yeah.
why you got to have your horse broke, sound, and I feel like you have to be smart instead. It seems to me like if you clean through the go-round, you've got a good horse that can plus his maneuver. You still have the penalty box. You still have to score good, but if you're smart and clean,
What's it usually take?
17.5.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're smart and clean, you make the level 4 semis. The next go round, you have to be stellar.
You have to be
You have to
You
be
have
better.
to be good.
better.
What's it usually take? 47?
Yeah.
Minimum.
37.
Yeah,
I
37.
mean, 27? I mean,
37.
37. No, yeah.
It takes
Yeah, I'm not good at math.
37
37.
minimum. Sometimes
37.
it's taking a 440. Sometimes it's taking a 36.
It's been
But
a,
I remember when it took a 440 in the first go around, I marked a 224 and I was awful. So, I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of
The
depends
year,
on how they're
yeah.
marking.
Yeah.
But basically, if you can go in there and stay out of trouble, do the maneuvers.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
get through
difference with the Derby, right? The 3-year-old and the Derby
Yes.
is two different things to me.
Yes.
Like, it's just like the Derby, I really, like this year, like I said, the NRBC, I was a 20, didn't make the final. Derby didn't make the final. And it's tough. So you really have, and I feel like in Europe, I didn't watch those guys show in the go round. I'm wondering, and tell me if I'm wrong, but they can save their horse for the final, and that's why they can run way harder
in the
final. Because us, we go out there in the go round, we have to challenge them already. You got to call on them and say, let's go. And then we don't have many time in between, not that much schooling except at night, but you barely can go pay warm up or, find a class to school. Then you go right back in there and you drop the hammer again. Those things started, okay, I did that a couple of days ago, I remember. But it looks like those horses are more fresh when they go in there and they can challenge them more. Am I right when I say that? Or?
Oh, yeah. July Joe Snap in the go-around, I mean, he kind of schooled him. I mean, he turned him good, schooled him through his circles, and he drew at the end of the go-around. He drew at the end of the go-around, and he was smart. He left him saddled.
224, I think, is what he marked. Maybe 225.
Maybe.
I think in a go round.
23.
Yeah, and then he went back in, and he had him saddled right there when the horse show was over. He went back in there and he went around the ends, and he was all by himself. And I mean, I think we're seeing more and more of those guys being able to know the program, know how to get their horses ready, know how to get them shown, do the whole thing. And I mean, those guys could make it over here.
Yep.
They could make it over here.
Yeah.
That's that Simone that does all the social media stuff over there interviewed me after the European Futurity, and she asked me that question. I said, "Are you kidding me? Of course they could. A lot of those horses were excellent.
Yeah.
We judged 100 horses or 60 horses that day in the open finals over there, and I was on the edge of my chair smiling the whole time. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
seems like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, you guys from here could maybe fly a horse over there that maybe not was your best, but a good horse and hoping to win or be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Now, you better bring your best one,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to fight over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's completely changed.
Yeah, it's completely changed. I feel like the quality of horses they have is better now. I feel like there's been a lot of very good trainer over the years. I think some of those guys are very good trainer, and I feel like by the past, the quality of horses was not as good as here, so they had to get them very broke. And they show in small arena, they got to swing broke, maybe broken, than the gift they had. They were just maybe not good horses or very good horses, but they made them look better. But now they're getting good horses, and they can train one.
Yeah.
And they can show.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they just don't have the outlet for the other horses that we have. Like, there's tons of horses here because people use them. They rope off of them. They use them to cowboy still.
They
There's
don't
not
really do that over there.
There's no horse sales there. There's no horse sale at the European Futurity. There's no
other cowboy stuff that they do.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah,
I
there's
think
no market for that one that
kinda
doesn't make it.
But I think that limits the breeding over there. Like, there's just a few guys breeding.
It's just too selective.
Yeah.
Too specialized.
I really, always, I had a blast going over there. It was fun to watch it. I lived in Italy for 4 years back when I was a kid and trained and showed. And, it's always fun and it brings back memories. And I hope it continues to grow and I hope it thrives over there because Europe is the enthusiasm for reining. I mean, there's more people. How many reignings do we have where there's that many people in the stands as they had over there at Bow Ranch that night?
Yeah.
I mean, it was full.
Yeah, there's not many here.
It was full.
If any.
Yeah.
And
So
the party after
for
that, the party
Run for the
after
million.
that.
Here.
I didn't, but heard about it.
Great party after that. They had
Yeah.
a DJ. I mean, cool music. That was great. I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff they do over there. There's another thing I always wonder. If you look at those guys' jacket they have when they make the funnel or sweatshirt, they're pretty cool. There's sponsors all over.
Yep.
And I don't know, but here you make the final, you get a little vest. You just have to stitch yourself a finalist, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just some stuff that they do.
They
over
do
there
they do some cool stuff.
there's a few things that I like
Yeah.
over there that I wish we can maybe put some thoughts into it. And I don't know, it's just a thought.
They can do it. They just,
Like
they
futurity,
just don't.
when it's over, when you walk out of the arena, it's over. I mean, there's
Everybody-
not really a big party.
Everybody's over.
They're taking down
the
the
way home.
fence.
With all the people there, the foreigners, I guarantee you can throw a big party
yeah.
over there and have a good time.
Yeah.
It's possible.
But it's actually been tried
And
You
For some reason, it just doesn't work. I mean,
because we used to have a party over at Chisholm's or the hotel.
Yeah, but it's
at
somewhere
breakfast.
else.
Yeah,
That's
that-
the problem. I think that's
yeah,
the
that
problem.
was just us going.
Well,
It's
no,
just
what
us.
they had,
Yeah.
they did breakfast and stuff. They
It
had
was
like
Joe. It was somewhere else.
at the
party.
hotel.
Yeah. No, let's not talk about after the fraternity.
I just think it has to be there.
IHOP. That was our thing.
Oh no, not.
But the culture is also different over
Yes.
there.
Yes.
You know, I mean, a lot of people, we're going to dinner. We're trying to get a reservation at a nice restaurant, and we call and they say, "What time you want to come?" And, you know, we're pretty full. 6. Well, we don't even open till 7.
Yeah, I know.
And so at 7, yeah, we can get you in at 7, but we can't get you in at 11. I mean, it's just so different. They're used to not even getting going
Yeah.
until later. And
Yeah,
you know,
it's different. I agree. So
There
but
was
I
there
like
was a
it.
party every night at the European fraternity. There
It's
was a
cool,
little
man.
bar in the horse show facility, and it was packed full of people every
Yeah.
night.
That guy Manuel at morning over there came over there, bottle of champagne, and I mean it was cool.
Yeah.
All the assistant trainer and couple of customers, I'm sure, and I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it's great, but I think it has to be on site where people have to go somewhere. It has to. They got to bring it to you right there, and
But that being said, okay, we're in Oklahoma City. You just made the finals on Miss Mercedes Wiz. What are you thinking about after you make those finals on her?
I want to party.
You did?
Yeah,
Shit, I want to go.
it was
home.
hard to get there. I want to.
I just want to go home. I'm
Yeah.
tired of being in Oklahoma
No, I want to
City.
party now. If I didn't make the final, I'm pissed and I want to go home. But
Okay.
no, if I made the final, I want to party. No, I don't know. The social, just being together, and I don't know. I enjoyed it.
but you're French.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's the.
Lazy Americans. Those lazy Americans.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
You gotta try, man. I'll get you to try next time.
Up at 5 this morning, done. Walked in my house at 5:15 p.m. today. Okay.
I also wanted to party when I was 30 or less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No.
it's-
yeah,
Not so
it's
much.
different. I
Yeah.
hear
Yeah, things
Yeah.
changed a little bit, you know?
yeah.
you. I know.
Definitely.
I know. Okay, 2 weeks with no riding. First day I got back, did a full list.
Oh,
Sure.
buddy.
When I got home, I look at my wife and say, "Oh, I mean, I'm only 42, but I can feel the difference
Yeah.
already."
Yeah.
I was embarrassed. I'm like, that's crazy how sore I am, and just 2 weeks
2
without
weeks,
riding.
yeah.
I mean, I get off my last horse. I was happy that was my last horse. I'm saying I had 2 weeks vacation. I should want to ride more. I said, no, I'm going home right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
For sure. Well, boys,
Yeah, good times. Thanks for
Matthew,
coming,
thanks
Matthew.
for coming. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me. I
Yeah.
enjoyed
Yeah,
it. Thank
of
you.
course.
Good.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Grow the show.